In today's video, we are making Dubai chocolate with ingredients only from the Dollar Tree. The original creator gets 4 mini bags of pistachios, 2 bags of Dove milk chocolates, powdered sugar, frosted flakes, and a jar of coconut oil. So here we are in the cereal section, and unfortunately I cannot find frosted flakes. So I think what I'm gonna do is go with the Cheerios, because if I go with anything else, it's gonna be way too sweet. And I think the Cheerios are gonna be just the perfect kind of like sweet and salty vibe.
125.
All right, here we are back at my house with $12.68 worth of stuff, and we are gonna be making the Dubai chocolate bars. Now, the original creator did not specify amounts at all other than like number of bags. So I am going to do all 4 bags of the pistachios. And then, if I'm remembering correctly, I haven't made it in a long time, but when you make kind of like a buttercream, you do a 1-to-1 ratio of your fat component, usually butter. In this case, we're gonna do coconut oil. You do it kind of like 1-to-1. So my plan is to do about half a cup of coconut oil and about half a cup of powdered sugar and blend that up and see where we end up at. And the original creator also had like a real blender. I don't have a real blender, but I do have a NutriBullet, and I find this thing to be pretty powerful. So I think we're hopefully gonna be able to get this done. It might be a gigantic fail. I don't know. We'll see. Here we go. Okay. We're getting somewhere here. I think we're gonna have to do some stirring. This NutriBullet hates my guts right now. But the part towards the bottom is actually starting to get really creamy. All right, second attempt. That looks like some pistachio cream. It's a little bit on the thin side right now. I think I may have like, I don't know. You know how coconut oil gets really thin when it gets hot? All right, that's actually really good. And it has a strong pistachio flavor, but it also has a strong coconut flavor. Not strong, but y'all know what coconut oil tastes like. There's that distinctive flavor, but it's very mild and it's really delicious. Okay, and I have over half the jar of coconut oil remaining, which is awesome because I can use that in another recipe this week. So I laid down a sheet of wax paper on a baking dish, and I'm gonna take these Cheerios. I think I'm gonna start with half a cup of Cheerios, but I think we might need more. Okay, so getting them on down in there. Yeah, this is looking really good. Okay, still pretty liquidy. I think we need a little bit more here. And do about a 1/4 cup more. and see how this is going. All right, so this is still too liquidy. My plan is to go ahead and put another 1/4 cup, which would be a full cup of the Cheerios in there. And then I think part of the problem is the coconut oil is just too warm. Maybe I need to put more sugar in there too. All right, I'm gonna put a little bit more sugar in there. So change the original measurement to 1/2 cup of coconut oil and 3/4 cup of sugar. I think the sugar might help us get a little bit thicker here. We are getting there. I'm gonna stick this in the fridge for just like 5 minutes to see if it'll thicken up a little bit. All right, well that is hopefully setting up in the fridge a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and unwrap these Dove chocolates from the packaging. I'm gonna throw just a little bit of that coconut oil, maybe like a teaspoon of coconut oil in this, and then microwave it in increments of 30 seconds until we get a smooth, creamy consistency so that we can pour it on top of the pistachio mixture. I'm going to try. Now you'll have to bear with me, this cookie scoop is broken. So it basically doesn't do anything other than make the stuff uniform in size. Okay. So I have one here laid out, and I'm not gonna concern myself with them being perfect. They're definitely still a little on the runny side. And like I said, this stupid thing is broken. I need another one of these. Okay. All right, and here they are. I'm gonna put these in the freezer, I guess. And I'll check on them in like 10-15 minutes. Okay, we are hardened up to where they actually lift off the wax paper pretty easily. And then I have the melted down Dove chocolate. I'm gonna put a good sized, well, hopefully I don't run out. A good sized, maybe tablespoon on each one. Spread it out a little bit. Make sure the whole thing gets some. I was very skeptical with just 2 bags of the chocolate. I actually bought a 3rd bag just in case, because I just didn't think it was gonna be enough, but it's actually perfect. I have even a little bit more that I can kind of take around the sides and just make sure everybody gets a little bit of chocolate on there. All right, they look really pretty. Well, they're actually look kind of really messy, but there's just that theme, you know? If you've ever had an actual Dubai chocolate bar, you have that green and the beautiful milk chocolate. So they're perfect. This is also one of those baking projects where you have so many tasting spoons because you're like tasting each step of the way. But okay, so here they are, and I think they look reasonably presentable. They look kind of messy because there's like a little bit that didn't quite make it onto each dollop, but once I pull them off the parchment, I think they're gonna look really cute. All right, like 5 more minutes back in the fridge. All right, it is the moment of truth. This is genuinely so good. You have to try it. So they look a little suspicious on the actual wax paper, but when you pull them off and put them on a plate, they present fairly well. I don't know, it's maybe kind of weird, but you could experiment with different molds, and you can also add decorations like sprinkles and stuff like that too. I just did it like the super basic way that the original creator did. Overall, this was a really fun project. It yields a delicious chocolate bar, and I ended up with 4 large chocolate bars, if you will. All 4 of which were very large, so you could cut them into quarters for kids. This would be a really fun project to do with your kids. And by the way, the whole project was only $12.68.
As always, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.